let's make something perfectly clear. I do not believe in fear mongering. I do not believe in certain videos just to get the clicks. I'll never get a lot of clicks. I'm okay with it. I'm a small channel. I'll always be a small channel, and it does sound self-defeating. But I'm a realist too. Been doing this a long time, and it's about always the same. But I will take always the same because I get always the same great folks. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Jan. Welcome to another episode on this channel, the Save Money More Jan channel. This is a bonus upload. All right, because this month I decided to do, as I call it, a double header month. Yeah, I know it is. It is a double header month. Yes, yes, yes. I'm hoping to help some more people. Here's a question: could there be higher prices and disruptions? La la la. Let me tell you something. I have never heard so many different insane stories. I can't get into it because I can't. I have never heard so many insane news type stories as I have had in the last several weeks. Okay? I'm just saying many are from basically from the sublime to the absolutely stupid and the absolutely ridiculous. Okay? And some are just so ridiculously sad. And so many of these things are so avoidable. But hey, I'm just me. This is just an opinion. This is the way I feel about certain things. But the fact remains, could there be higher prices and disruptions? Honestly, yeah, yeah. But you know what I'm concerned about? I'm concerned about there are a few folks out there. Now, you're not going to believe this. Let's I know, brace yourself for this. There are a few folks out there that feel very little of themselves and they think they're being selfish as opposed to considering themselves being more self caring. Selfish and self care are two different things. Excuse me. I have addressed this before briefly, however. Selfish is when, like, you're kissing yourself in the mirror, the conceited, kind of thing, or whatever. That's the most important thing in life. And yeah, to me, that's my definition or partial definition of selfish. Self care is when you're like looking out for your family, looking out for yourself, getting a stockpile ready, not overspending, living the frugal lifestyle. This is, excuse the throat again. Oh, these allergies. Self care. Nothing wrong with that. I don't know how long this video is going to run today, but I know this common sense. Let's take out the frugal toolbox, okay? During this bonus upload. And if you haven't checked out the others, please go back to them. And it's okay if you want to hear them over again, too. That's up to you. Listen, okay. Taking out the frugal toolbox, okay? One of the things in my frugal toolbox includes common sense. Now, if you pay attention to news, now, I'm not saying keep your ear glued to the news 24/7. To me, that's detrimental because it's negative, listening to negative information all day long. Okay, get the gist of it, get the most of it. Go back to it whenever you want, but don't dwell on it. However, excuse me again, common sense tells Jan that this is not the time for Jan. Now, I don't know about you. I don't know your circumstances. This is not for the time for Jan to go into frivolous spending. Although Jan hardly ever does that under normal situations. So why would I do that now? Things are telling me that I could be wrong. I am no economical expert at all whatsoever. I'm just anybody else. But I don't know what it is. Something is telling me we're going to see a bunch of higher prices soon because of all of these insane stories. Well, I call them that. To me, they are. A lot of, like, so much craziness in general in life, okay, going on simultaneously. Simultaneously. There used to be a song when I was a child, okay, that was very, very, let's just say the first two words of the title are Ball of, okay, from a great group beginning with a letter T. That's all I could say. I don't want to get into any copyrights or anything like that. Okay? That song, I mean, that song came out like in the late 1960s. Okay, very late 60s. Okay, if you ever get a hold of it and give a listen to it, a lot of the stuff that was mentioned in that tune, ay, 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 is still going on. I'm like, wait, here we are, 2025. All right, but that's its own show. Trust me on that. With all this craziness going on, wouldn't it make sense to you? Let me ask you a question. Did you start a stockpile yet? Grocery stockpile. Did you? Something tells me I have no reason specifically to feel that way. I can't put my finger on it. It just ever get like I don't know, feeling in your mind or in your heart. Some things just don't feel right. This is what I'm feeling. So I'm making it a stronger point for myself. Okay. I'm just sharing how I'm feeling. I'm just sharing what I'm doing. And this is a thought for you to consider in your own. If you have not started a grocery stockpile, I say this is a good time to begin. I mean, any time is a good time to begin. Don't get me wrong. Anytime, really. But I believe because of this feeling of unrest that I have in my mind, like I don't know why I'm smelling some sort of a supply chain interruption. I don't know why. I don't have any absolute reason to feel this way. Let me know in the comment section below if you're getting the feeling that, oh, maybe it's really a good idea to start, stockpile. If you've not done so, please don't wait till the last minute. It reminds me so much, so much. And I've shared this story a gazillion times. Anytime there was a weather crisis, for example, around here, and people were warned, like for even up to 10 weeks to 10 days, 10 days to 2 weeks ahead of time. They were warned by these highly sophisticated weather models that let us know a 10 to 14 day ahead forecast. They were right, though. They were right. And a lot of people like, yeah, I don't care. Who cares? And then guess what? One day or the day of the storm that's been predicted for 10 days, people were banging down the doors trying to find things that the stores no longer had. Why? Because the shelves were empty. Because the smarter ones went in ahead of time and stocked up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Listen, like I said, I have no specific reason. I'm just getting this uncomfortable feeling that we are on the verge of even higher prices. I know we hear all sorts of stories. We hear this story on one thing, we hear that story on the other thing. Listen, many times I have said, it doesn't matter to me all these stories I'm hearing. It doesn't really matter because I will continue to work with common sense, which is a part of a component in my frugal toolbox. Do you have a frugal toolbox? And I believe everybody does. Now, I believe we all do have one. Do we reach into our frugal toolbox and make use of the tools that are given to us? I believe we all have the capability of making common sense decisions. But some of us refuse to take out that can of common sense or that spray bottle of common sense in our imaginary frugal toolbox. Well, let me tell you something. Considering all the craziness, like you have to agree, it's been like a lot of ironic things all in the same time. To me, this spells out chaos. Okay, and whenever there's chaos, certain things eventually become affected. Okay. Did you ever think in your lifetime that you would see eggs at one time when it was at their peak worst prices? Did you ever think in your lifetime you'd see a dozen eggs for close to $8 in your lifetime? Did you ever think you'd see that? Of course not. Of course not. I'm hearing from people that are complaining that where they live, they're having a lot of trouble getting fresh turkey pieces at a reasonable price. Turkey pieces. Come on now, really? Thankfully, chicken is still in the reasonable realm. When you know things are reasonable, get them, get them, get them. If your family eats them, get them, get them. I don't know. I just feel I have this feeling that much higher prices and somehow some sort of a disruption could be on its way. I don't know. I could be wrong, but think about something. Wouldn't you be better off? making an error on the side of caution? Honestly, I truly believe that I am. So this is how I feel, and this is what I'm going to continue to do, continue stockpiling, because I'm sorry, I just don't feel right about certain things. I don't know why. I just don't.